4-0. Jordan, we in the building.
How's it going?
Everything going good. Hopefully it's going better than Christie Sides, and that's actually going to be our first person that we're going to speak about. Obviously, she just got what am I saying? She just got relieved from her
Yeah.
duties from the Indiana Fever, and right now they are looking at essentially Stephanie White as a potential candidate to, I guess, assume the role of head coach. But before we get into Stephanie White, let's speak about Sides. Do you feel like it was fair or foul that she was removed from her position?
I think given the circumstances, I think it was foul. I mean, she went 20 and 20 this year, led a very young Fever team to a 20 and 20 record. Um, I mean, that's pretty good, given that your best player is a rookie and probably your second or third best player is, in her second year. I mean, I thought she did a really good job given the circumstances. She went 33 and 47 in 2 years, right?
Is that
So
a good record though?
it's not a good
33
record.
30. What's the record? 33 and 47.
33 and 47. They went 13 and
Are you
27.
keeping a head coach after 2 years with that record?
Well, I mean, she had a 7 game win improvement from her first year to her second year, and she's already started to build, team chemistry. That team really started to come together after the All-Star break, and they did get better. So, I mean, I would have liked for them to run it back at least one more year just to see what the possibilities are. And now that she's, had a year with Caitlin under her belt, to see what that team would have done this year. Um, I mean, they ran into a pretty tough Connecticut team. It was just a really tough matchup. So, they didn't win a playoff game. It's just going to be, I mean, I just don't, I just, I mean, what were the expectations for her this year? Did you expect them to win 20 games this year?
Did I expect Indiana to win 20 games? I don't know, but I did expect them to get into the playoffs. Hey,
Okay.
what's good, Ricky? I expect them to get into the playoffs. I don't know about the number of games, but I could care less about the number of games that they won. The only thing I expected was for them to get into the playoffs, and she met those expectations. I don't know if you're asking me if it's fair or foul. I think it's a little foul that she got fired, obviously, and a lot of my guests and what's good KG and what is it, Landy Pants, and there's his name Landy Pants. Shout out to Landy Pants. And Robert said she should have got another chance. I want to read Rennie's quote. Fair. So hey, there you go. I think it was foul. Jordan, she thinks it's fair. She said it's fair. Sides has not developed as a head coach. How can we expect her to develop young players if she herself is not developed? I'm gonna let you speak on that right quick.
Well, I mean, intra season, and this is all from ESPN, from June 1st to September 10th, they went 18 and 9. So something was developing. That was the third best record in the league during that time. And after the Olympic break, they were number one in offensive rating. So, I mean, there is some development demonstrated there. Once Caitlin Clark got a little bit more comfortable with the league, not like physicality, her shot making improved a little bit. She got a little bit more familiarity because a lot of it does, revolve around Caitlin Clark. As she got more comfortable, the team started to do better. So I mean, I guess it really comes down to, did she not meet expectations? I mean, they didn't win a championship this year. Did everybody expect them to win a championship this year? Because, I mean, what did you think they were going to do this year?
I expect them to get to the playoffs. I mean, honestly, I expected them to just get to the playoffs and kind of figure out from there. I didn't expect them again. I didn't expect them to win a chip her first year. I'm talking about Caitlin.
Right. So, so it sounds like to you, they met expectations. They
Yeah,
made the playoffs.
they did. They for me they made expectations. Yes, I thought they would get to the playoffs, and I thought that they'd be a good team while they got there. But the question, so a lot of the people are saying is, are they better with her as a coach to win a championship, or without her as to win a championship? And that's where the Stephanie White question comes in. Now, the question is, can Stephanie? And we're saying this prematurely because we don't know if she
Right.
got the
It's
job
not
yet.
it's not
Quote
confirmed
unquote.
yet.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not confirmed, quote unquote, but it's all but confirmed. The question is, can they win a championship with with White as their head coach. And I'm going to read some of these comments. Shout out to Ava and Landy Pants. KG, what's good, y'all? He said he agrees with Brittany. I don't know what you mean by that. So I hope you kind of reread that. Landy Pants says own players better under the bus was a good look. Ava put, as a Connecticut Sun fan, Stephanie White is a lovely person. She's been a great coach, truthfully. And then Landy Pants says definitely better without Christie Sides as the coach. Definitely better. Let me read what Brittany quote says. It could be as simple as the new GM wanted to appoint her head coach, and I agree with you,
I
Rindy.
agree with that. Yeah,
I agree with that. I
agree with
think
that.
GM is like, hey, I'm going to pick the coach that I want to kind of back up on my team, and we're going to go from there. And Kelly Crossbaugh, this is not Amber Cox making these decisions for the most part. Amber Cox is a placeholder as the GM. She is not. I can tell you now, she's not making those. This is Kelly Crossbaugh. Like, if I'm butchering your name, Kelly, my fault. But President Kelly Crossbaugh, this is her decision. Tracy put Indiana. Hey, Tracy, I'm kind of with you right now, especially because the way that they're getting aggressive. And this is what I was telling you, Trey. And I'll kind of go on this right quick. So I was saying Indiana is not going to waste Caitlin's career. They are not bullshitting right now. They're not bullshitting with this woman's career. They're going to win as much as they can, and they're going to maximize this window. And it goes back to what I was saying. If they don't win and they don't do well quickly, she is going to go to another situation and win a ring. There is nothing stopping her from going to LA and playing with Cam, playing with Rakia, playing in a bigger market, and then going to win a ring there. So the fact that they are making aggressive moves, this is Indiana. And we're going to speak about some more aggressive moves that they're going to make later in the offseason. The fact that they're making these aggressive moves, it tells you something. It tells you, hey, we want to win. Right. We want to win now. We have a generational player. We have to get her some rings. And again, Katie was on our live saying she has to win. There's a path to her being a GOAT without her winning multiple. There is no path to Caitlin Clark being a GOAT without winning multiple rings. The standard is at least 3. She needs at least 3. And this is the W.
Probably,
Brianna Stewart, Maya Moore, if she got 3 rings, like Coop got 4, and she has the accolades behind it, she has to win at least 3.
Right.
And the Indiana shout out to Kelly. Shout out to the Indiana Fever. And this is not me advocating for Christie Sides to get fired, but shout out to Indiana because they see, hey, we have a generational player. She's on a rookie contract. We got to win right now, and we got to maximize her talent right now. And they're doing it. They're doing it. Now, they're not waiting for Christie to develop as a coach. They're saying, forget that. And that's a nice way of saying what I want to say. They're saying, forget that. We want to come in. We want to win next season. ESPN ranked them number 2 in the power rankings. Caitlin Clark is ranked number 2 in MVP rankings right now. If you were to take your money as Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Lisa Collier, and then Brianna Stewart for MVP. So they're saying, hey, we got somebody that could win an MVP right now next season. We're number 2 or number 3 in the power rank. I think they're top 4 in the power rankings. They're like, we want to win right now, and we don't give a ish what it looks like. We want to win. Now, Jordan and I were talking about this before live. We were saying it reminds us of our Miami Heat when we had Stan Van Gundy, and then we said, Stan. I'm sorry, we had
thanks for your services.
We said, God bless you at the half. We said we're gonna roll with Pat, and we're gonna get Pat to get us a ring in 06, and he got D-Wade a ring in 06 in his 3rd year in the league. Now the question is,
is there a Pat Riley?
Is there a Pat? Do y'all feel like Stephanie White is Pat Riley? That's the question. Is Stephanie White a Pat Riley kind of coach where she can come in and get this job done? That's what Indiana wants to do. And again, this is unconfirmed. We don't know if Coach White is the coach that will be taking care of this ring, but that's the question. Can Stephanie White come in and do what Christie Sides couldn't, quote unquote, according to the upper management of the Fever, and get the job done? So we will see. And again, this is not confirmed that they're hiring him. Who knows? Maybe they get Mark Jackson. Maybe they get Mark Jackson in the building. I've been saying that for a minute. So
I do like that Kelly Crosskopf is being aggressive and not trying to waste, any of Caitlin Clark's years. I mean, I love that. I love when GMs and presidents, like, they go for it every time. But what I didn't like is that, according to ESPN, earlier this month, Crosskopf appeared to give a vote of confidence to Christie Sides. Quote, It takes time.
Right.
It takes time. It takes a long time for the teams that I've had to gel and to get together. I mean, years. It doesn't happen in 4 months. It takes a few years. I was really impressed with the progress that they made and how Christie is a resilient leader. She's a culture builder. I know that she's just got that kind of, stamina to stick to it and stick to her plan. And she's a good person and she's a great leader. I was impressed with the way they finished. It's just, to me, it's like, okay, why would you say that? I mean, maybe you just have to say that. And maybe Stephanie White wasn't on the market yet, and her services weren't made available yet. But like, why would you say that? Because it's just, I didn't like that. That was a little dirty.
Hey, everybody in the chat, I want to know, who do y'all think is winning this argument? Is it Jordan or is it myself? Y'all let us know in the chat. So my stance, Jordan, what's your stance? Better yet, what's your stance on this? And I want to read some of these. I want to read some of these quotes before y'all kind of say that. Before you answer that question, Jordan, they put personnel matters more than coaching. Shout out to A, long time listener. She's not Pat Riley or even close, but again, I've heard reporters call her young Pat Riley. Auntie Chanel, that's a new listener. I played with Steph in Indy. They need to bring her back. Tracy, what's good, Tracy? Steph White is perfect because she can fix what Indiana lacks. That is defense. Let me read some more of these comments. 4 of 5 starters were 24 and under. You can't win titles that young. It's never happened. Indiana ain't playing checkers. They are playing chess. That's what it's looking like right now, honestly.
Yeah.
Let me read some more of these comments. Indiana about to win a championship in 1 to 2 years. Shout out to Trey. KG shout out to KG. I think Sides is a good coach, is what I mean. And then a lot of people are saying they're definitely better without Sides. As a Connecticut Sun fan, Stephanie White is a lovely coach. Y'all let us know who's winning. Mike put, I didn't hear the arguments, but he's glad Sides is gone. Let me read this last
one. A lot of people didn't like Sides.
The question is, what has changed from now until then? That's what Brittany had to put in the chat. I think it was foul the way she got fired, but again, I'm not gonna sit here and advocate for. And shout out to Pink. I'm not gonna sit here and advocate for a way a billionaire or a millionaire spends their money. I don't want y'all coming at one of us for the same reason, and I wouldn't want no billion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not checking a billionaire's pockets. So if they felt that, hey, they want to win a ring and Coach Sides is not the coach to get the job done.
Right.
I can't. You know what I'm saying? What can we honestly say about that in that situation? They want to. It's their money. They get to pick who coach of their team is.
Yeah, they could do whatever they want, but I mean, they have to be pretty far in negotiations with Stephanie White to make a move like this. To sort of disturb the status quo. So if they don't get Stephanie White and they get someone else,
if they don't get Stephanie White, we can start there. If they don't get Stephanie White, who are they hiring? Mark Jackson. You better throw as much money as you can at Mark Jackson.
Bro, that's what I said. I said that 5 months ago, bro. Mark Jackson would be, I think, the right answer.
He'd be perfect for Caitlin. He'd be a perfect coach for Caitlin.
Yeah,
he'd be a perfect coach for Caitlin Clark.
He has the toughness. He has the values that I think that fan base would really like, if you know what I mean. I think I think he'd be a great fit.
Some of the other coaches are Lisa Bluter. What do you think about Lisa Bluter to the Indiana Fever? We can start there. What do you think about Lisa Bluter to the Indiana Fever, Jordan? Collegiate coach Lisa Bluter.
Has she ever?
I mean, Indiana Fever. No. Talk. You don't have to qualify it. What do you think about it?
No.
He's being nice. He's being nice.
No,
he's being nice, just like I'm being nice. I'm not going to say too much. He's being nice.
I don't think so. I mean, what qualification has she ever been thrown in a pro job coaching circle ring before? Like, I mean, other than her affiliation with Caitlin Clark, does she have any other? Has she demonstrated the ability to take a winning team to a championship, which is what they did not see in Christie Sides? How could you ever imagine seeing that in Lisa Bluter? I think that's a non-starter.
Yeah, I'm going to read her record at Iowa, and this is before Clark. So before Clark, she was Elite Eight, postseason, Sweet 16, and then second round NCAA runner-up. Before that, quarterfinals, first round, Sweet 16. Listen, Jordan, she's not bad. She's been coaching. Let's look at her record. I'm not sitting here and advocating for her to get the job, but this is not I wouldn't say, look, if they hired her, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So be it. I don't know if that would be my pick, over a Mark Jackson, over Stephanie White, over another coach with professional, obviously experience. But her track record is not bad. Her track record says she could do the damn job. So
I feel like if you're gonna go into the college ranks, there's only, I mean, I would only pick like two people.
who are the two you picking? If you had to go collegiate, who are you picking? And chat, y'all let us know in the chat. If we had to pick a collegiate coach, that's funny, is one of our questions. If you had to pick a collegiate coach to, I guess, coach this Indiana Fever team or anything like that, who are y'all picking up on this roster?
I'd probably pick Mulkey.
I picked Don Staley first.
Oh,
honestly.
whoa, yeah,
I see a lot of Gino, college
Gino Staley,
none.
or Mulkey, one of those three.
A lot of them are saying none. One person put Lisa Bluter. Let me see. CC has only had white woman head coaches. She does not want a black male. That's okay, Jordan. Thank you for saying that. So
we literally talked about this before.
Let's start on that comment right there.
Yeah.
So Sandy, I appreciate that. Sandy put Caitlin Clark has only had white woman head coaches. She does not want a black male head coach. I could care less what she wants, right?
Yeah.
The question is, would a coach that is not going to tolerate? Obviously, I advocated for Brooklyn Chapman. I advocated for Mark Jackson. I advocated. I even said if she had a coach who I felt like would just not hold her hand, but would make sure she is accountable for her turnover, and for her flaws in her game.
Right.
If y'all don't know, and this is your first time listening, I think Clark has been the best point guard in basketball for over 6 months, and I've said that from Jump Street. I think she'd be that much transcendent as a player if she's had somebody in her corner that would say, "Shut the front door." Pass the ball correctly. We do not need that right now.
Right.
Get the dribble play. Go get the shot that you want and go get us this damn win.
Right.
I feel like with these coaches with Caitlin, sometimes it's like they like she's great, but they acquiesce to her too much.
Correct.
And they're not taking control of the situation as if some other Mark Jackson would never
allow that stuff.
He would never.
Yeah.
He would never allow her to get away with. I've seen, and she talked about it, and this is the problem, honestly. This is the problem. When you have a rookie point guard and somebody who I feel like is transcendent and who I feel like, again, is the best point guard in basketball, and she is having to coach herself. I talked to her after the 19-assist game in Dallas. I literally spoke to her after this game, and she was upset because she had the turnover late, which caused them to lose the game when she had the 19 assists.
Yeah, I remember that.
She was like, I shouldn't have thrown that turnover at the last minute. And I was like, damn, Caitlin. I was like, I appreciate that you were wise beyond your years and that you're very mature and that you have such a basketball IQ that you understand that wasn't the play for that.
Right.
But I'm like, it's not on you as a 22-year-old rookie to be saying that about yourself. You need somebody to kind of help you through that situation, call a timeout so that you don't have to feel like you have to do too much to win the game. It shouldn't be all on you, especially at this age. Like you're a rookie. This should not be on you. You need somebody to call the timeout for you. Yeah. Say, hey, listen, let's run up a play. Let's get an easy bucket. Let's get you an easy assist, and let's get you this win. So we're not spoiling this 20 assist game that you almost had. Like, so shout out to again. Sonny, what you mean by what? Let me know what you mean by that. Clark. So Jundal put Clark's favorite player is black. Leave race out of it. I don't know what you mean by that. Cheryl Miller. A lot of people are advocating for Cheryl Miller. I have no clue if Cheryl Miller wants to be a coach, y'all.
Cheryl is getting up there in years too. Like I don't know if she necessarily wants to jump back into pro coaching like that.
Yeah, I don't know if Cheryl Miller wants to coach.
She's coached in almost 25 years, I think, since she was on the Mercury, right?
I don't think she's trying to coach. A lot of people saying, "Dude, Mark Jackson want to coach?" I think Mark Jackson wants to get into the NBA in any way, shape, or form that he can. And I think if he were able to get this job with Indiana, again, you got a point guard. He's top 4 in assists in all NBA. He's top 4 in assists, all-time assists in NBA history. And Mark Jackson is not a superstar point guard. He is a damn good point guard who came into the league and he grinded from New York. He grinded in Indiana, and he literally grinded every way he's been. He helped transform Steph Curry into what you see today. And like I told Caitlin, I think she's a baby Curry. I think she's Steph Curry Jr., and I think she could be better. I'm not saying she will be better than Steph, but I think she has the opportunity to finish in her sport, in the women's sport, greater than Steph is in the men's sport. And I think if she had a coach like Jackson, had a coach like Pokey Chapman, had a coach like, and yes, I'm bringing in race into it because when we talk about African American coaches, there are things that they're not going to stand for versus the other
Right.
like it's just that simple. It's just
Right.
like I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's true. Like we see diversity matters in the sport, and
Right.
we see that these coaches, especially when they get the opportunity, they do really well. Now, sometimes obviously we see some people go to the wayside, but a lot of players do, especially former players. Look at a Tanisha Wright who took an Atlanta team to the playoffs. Look at a who am I thinking about? Noelle Quinn, who took a Seattle Storm team deep into the playoffs. Like these players, like they're it means something. Even Teresa Weatherspoon, who had marginal success in Chicago, when she had her superstar player Angel Reese playing, they were in the playoff chase. So like we have seen it every step of the way that these players and these coaches have made an impact to these types of players. So shout out to them. I want to read some of these quotes though. It said they need a high analytics coach. Mark Jackson is too controversial. Maybe that's true. CC will get Mark fired. I mean, CC just kind of got. I mean, I don't know. She got Christie Sides fired. Jordan. So do you think? So now I guess we could talk about Stephanie White. Do you feel like Stephanie White is the championship coach if they were to bring her in, that she would be the one, I guess, to kind of lead the ship? Do you feel like they made the right choice by firing Sides and quote unquote bringing in White?
Man, I mean, I think Stephanie White is one of the best coaches in the WNBA. I think she's definitely an improvement. She's won. She just won Coach of the Year last year. You know, I mean, yeah, she was blessed with a really good Connecticut team. But they did have success in the 2 years that she was coach. So I think, but I mean, is she gonna take this team to the next level? I think she is, but I think this team was headed on to the next level anyway, with or without Stephanie White as the coach. So I do think that it's an improvement. Do I think that they're gonna be able to compete for a championship next year? Probably not. But I think they will.
That's not what the power rankings say. I'm
I
gonna pull them
mean,
up, Jordan.
these ESPN writers, like, come on, man, dude. They just want views, just like all of us. Like they'll say anything. They'll say Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year until the last week, even though she had already been injured for like 2 weeks at that point. So
the ESPN power rankings, and I'll let you keep going, Jordan. This is for they saying don't believe ESPN. Players are requesting to play with Caitlin. Latrice, tell me some of the players, and shout out if you're in real estate. Shout out to all my real estate people. New York Liberty 32-8 at number 1. Minnesota Lynx 30-10 at number 2. Las Vegas Aces, who just fired their GM, and we're going to talk about them, 27-13. They have them at number 3. Indiana Fever, the Indiana Fever, who finished 6th, are in the 4th place seed in the power rankings. They lost to Connecticut in the first round. They finished 20-20. Obviously, they returned in the playoffs in 2016. They got who I feel like is the best point guard in the game and who's been that since since she stepped on the court, honestly. Honestly, that's how I felt since she stepped on the court. And Caitlin Clark, they're thinking about re-signing Kelsey Mitchell. They have obviously another generation. They have another superstar or all-star player in Aaliyah Boston. Again, the expectations for this team are through the roof, and people are expecting this team to get. If they have them at number 4, that means they're a contender to win a chip next year. So keep that in mind. And the question is, if they're a contender to win a chip, is Stephanie White the coach that can help them win a championship? That is the question. She helped them already win the East. She helped them win the East in 2015. Now the question is,
to the finals.
Yeah. Now the question is, can she help them win a chip? You know what I'm saying? That's a real big question. Now I want to read some of these questions, Jordan. I'll let you kind of get into that answer. They said the only chance, and we're going to talk about Satou, I appreciate that. The only chance other teams have the injuries is if they get Satou. The Fever GM said they have gotten numerous calls about other players wanting to play with her. Latrice, give me some names. I need you to give me some names because I've heard Kelly Crosswell speaking in these press conferences about the same thing. I need you to give me some names if you've got some inside information. Jundal said 4th should be their goal. It depends on how they start the season. It depends. It benefits the players to play with her. They will make more money on endorsements. not just the coach. They need to bolster their bench. It doesn't matter to who their coach is. Shout out to Tyrese. If they don't get better pieces, one person said in the top to Howard, and then Latrice said they didn't say names. I need to know some names, Latrice. Y'all got to give me some names. If you're telling me they're getting free agents in free agency, and we're gonna talk about Satou Sabally for everybody that's on the live. If you're talking about free agents, who's coming to Indiana? Because they can't just bring back the same team and expect to win. Because obviously they gotta figure out what's going on in Erica Wheeler. They gotta figure out what they're doing with Kelsey Mitchell. Now Kelly Crosswalk has said several times she wants to bring Kelsey Mitchell back, and she wants her to make the Olympic team next year, going forward in the next cycle. Right. Now Jordan is on record for saying if Kelsey Mitchell were traded, this is the best time to do it because you can bring in other high value pieces for her. I'm on record saying I don't know. I have no clue if this team is better with or without Mitchell, but I want to know what kind of pieces are on the board if they were thinking about a sign and trade. If you're thinking about a sign and trade, and I guess we could talk about Satou now. If we're thinking about a sign and trade, and if you can trade Kelsey Mitchell for a Satou Sabally, if you don't make that deal, you need to get fired. If you have the ability to trade for Satou Sabally and you have Kelsey Mitchell on the board, and Dallas says we'll accept Kelsey Mitchell, we'll accept your first round draft pick, we'll accept Melissa Smith, and we'll accept some cash. And shit, if I'm Dallas, I'm asking for more. You're not getting a first team all WNBA player. Actually, if I'm Dallas, I'm hanging up the phone. If there's any call about Satou, I'm hanging up the phone immediately. But if they give me a package that's intriguing enough, and this honestly could play Indiana for you. If you can give me a package that's intriguing enough where you got a Kelsey, you got an Alyssa, you got a first round pick, maybe for the next 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be. You got to give me a Godfather
first round
deal.
picks.
You got to give me a Godfather deal if you're trying to get Satou.
4 first round picks for Satou Sabally.
I need a Godfather deal. You're not getting Satou. 25 years old, first team all WNBA. You got to give me a Godfather deal if you're trying to get Satou on your team. It's no conversation unless you give me a Godfather deal. What are you gonna say, Jordan?
Satou ain't that good for a Godfather deal. She's good, but she ain't that good. I mean, that'd be an incredible improvement. Getting Satou on the team. If it's a sign and trade, I mean, you can't get her just straight up in free agency, can you?
You can't because they're gonna. So Jordan says, Katie agrees with you. Katie and Caps are gonna open up the line soon for y'all. So they both saying Satou is injury prone. So if she's so injury prone, why do y'all want her on the team so bad? Exactly. I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all know she's pretty much the first team all WNBA. When she was healthy, they were top 4 in the WNBA.
Right.
She was first team all WNBA, and they were top 4 in the WNBA. So don't tell me she's not that good. When she played for Team Germany this summer in the Olympics, if y'all didn't watch,
really good.
Yeah, she was good. She was good. When she came back this season, she's been good. Yeah. She's absolutely been good.
She shot 45% from 3 this year. 45%. That's incredible for the
WNBA. It's incredible for anybody.
Bro, for the NBA, that's incredible.
Let's pull up shit. Let me pull up her numbers, Jordan. Thank you for that. Like, again, if I'm Indiana, I'm making a call for her. Like, because obviously she can get cored, but I'm making a call for her and I'm figuring out, hey, how can we get you on our roster? And if I'm Dallas, you better give me a Godfather deal. And that's if I have to offer, because if you're Dallas and you trade away Satou, you already understand you're going to lose Enrique next year. Because Enrique is a free agent.
Right.
You already know that you're going to have to rebuild. Let's pull up I'm pulling up her stats. So this season, again, Jordan, you're right. 45. This is insane. 45%. Ladies and gentlemen, Satou Sabally, if you're talking about stretching the floor, and this is exactly what you need, a big guard or a big perimeter player. Obviously, she plays post. A big perimeter player who can guard multiple positions, who can knock down a 3, and she can rebound. She shot 45% from the 3-point line. Are you kidding me? 45% from 3. Jordan, shout out to you. 42% from the field goal percentage. 5 assists per game, and this is as a 3. And 6 rebounds. Satou Sabally is that good. I don't know what y'all trying to tell me.
And also, she's a high volume 45% too. Like 2.5 out of 5.6. That's high volume, high percent. Yo, quick question. For the next 10 years, would you rather have Satou Sabally or Leonie Fiebich? Which German forward would you take?
Sabally. Unicorn.
Is it close? Is it close at all?
No.
All right.
But then again, it's Unicorn. Unicorn, that's one of my favorite players in the game. So, Yeah, it's unicorn. She's really that special. And like you talk about it with Oregon, she was on the same Oregon team with Sabrina. She's better
yeah.
than Sabrina. She's better than Sabrina. It's not even a question. She's better than
I think
Sabrina.
she is. Yeah.
I think she's much better than Sabrina. She's first team
I
All
would take
WNBA.
Sabally over Phoebus too, but I mean, Phoebus is
Say,
good.
hey, Tyrese laughing at you. He says 6 points per game versus all WNBA. Thank you, bro. Like, thank you. I appreciate that, Ty.
I said next 10 years. I said next 10 years, but okay.
Next 15 years, I'm picking unicorn.
All right. Well, only one of them has a championship ring.
I mean, but who playing with Breanna Stewart, Sabrina? Who playing with John Quell?
All right.
Okay. Another question: if you switch unicorn and you switch,
all right. One of us has a ring and one of us doesn't, so we'll just leave it at that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Fever is Caps put Fever need a big that can rebound and score 8 to 11 points. Can I interest you in a woman that can shoot 45% from three while knocking down almost 3 threes a game and she can score 20 points? Satou Sabally would be perfect for this team, but we'll see if Indiana can make that happen. If Kelly Krauskopf is who she is, she gonna make it Satou get in that building. You'll see Satou in an Indiana Fever jersey. If she is who we think she is, you're gonna see her in that building with an Indiana Fever jersey, and it'll be sooner than later. So it's already. What were you gonna say, Jordan?
I wonder if Kelly Krauskopf was in the room when they kind of formulated this Indiana Pacer kind of style, just like up and down, nonstop. I mean, Sabally would be the perfect fit for that if that's sort of the style they're going with the type of players they already have, like Caitlin Clark. And if you add Sabally, I mean, this could be a up and down revolutionary 7 seconds or less type team. Crazy. That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome if that's the plan.
She's 26, so you got a 22. Well, Caitlin will be 23 into next year, sometime next year. She'll be, I believe, in February or January. So you have a 23-year-old point guard with a 26-year-old small forward who is just in the prime. She's getting ready to hit the prime of her career. And then Caitlin is gonna they'll grow together on the ascension, and then you still have a Kelsey Mitchell and if Kelsey's not there, so be it. I mean, obviously I want Kelsey to stay there if you can, but if you got to give up Kelsey to get Satou, you got to make that deal. But you'll still have an Aaliyah Boston who's 23, 24 years old. Like that's the core. That is the young core. That is the trio that you kind of need moving forward. And then you still keep Lexi, Jordan. You still keep a Lexi. So the lineup will be, it'll be Caitlin at the point who could shoot 35% from three. You got a Lexi who could shoot 35% from 3+, right? You got a Satou who could shoot from 35. I would honestly, I wouldn't even put Satou. I'd put her at my 4. I'd put Aaliyah at my 5, and I would find one more shooter to kind of fill in. And if you want to keep Melissa, or if you want to keep Melissa can play the 4, and then you can keep Satou at the 3. Or if not, you just find another shooter.
Just put Boston at the 5.
Say it again.
You put Boston at the 5.
It depends on the lineup. If let's say that they don't get Satou, I would sign NECA and put Boston at the 5. But I feel like they need more shooting and spacing and more defense, honestly, than less.
I think they might need a little bit more rebounding.
She provides that. This one right here provides everything.
Yeah, that's true.
She is the fix all to everything, honestly.
Yeah.
Isn't Aaliyah younger than Caitlin? Y'all gotta let me know. Katie said we are underrating Kelsey Mitchell. So Katie, I'm gonna ask you: would you rather have Kelsey Mitchell or Satou Sabally? And I don't honestly think that's a question. Shout out to Kelsey Mitchell, but I don't really think that's an honest question. If that Landy Pants said y'all gotta keep Lexi, and I agree. You gotta keep Lexi. Exactly.
Yeah, you have to keep Lexi. Yeah, it would really piss off Caitlin if Lexi was traded.
What you said, Jordan?
If Lexi was traded, I think Caitlin would be very unhappy. That's her best friend.
Yeah, Lexi shouldn't get traded. This is what Satou. So this is the post. So Satou teaming up with Caitlin, kind of here for that narrative, and then they added Sabally, and she liked the post. If I'm Kelly Krauskopf, I'm sending every single phone call to Dallas immediately, and if I'm Dallas, I'm hanging up every single phone unless it has multiple first-round picks, unless it has at least 1 or 2 All-Stars. Like, you got to give Dallas something to give. If you're trying to get away a first-team All-WNBA performer, you got to make it sweet enough to get the package. And we'll see it. They said I'd need another ball handler at shooting guard if we lose Kelsey Mitchell for Satou. But I feel like that's easy. I feel like you can find that more than you can.
Would you consider Kelsey Mitchell a quote unquote ball handler? I mean, she handled the
I mean, she can
ball,
handle
but
the
that's
ball,
not
right?
a ball handler. Like
Right.
she was such a dude. She's an excellent one on one player, but you got to trade her right now. This is like her value will never be higher, dude. You have
Her
to.
value might Kelsey Mitchell's value might never be higher because she is a obviously she's a 2-time All-Star, and she's been just a bucket. Like she's just been playing really well with this Indiana Fever team, but it looks
And she's
like
not getting any younger.
she's not getting younger.
She's
That's
what, like 28, 29, something like that.
yeah, she
She's
is. So
she's getting older.
she's
So
28. Kelsey Mitchell is 28.
yeah.
She'll be 29 this season.
I
Yes.
mean, after this year, her value starts to go down. So you have to trade her. Absolutely. I'm
So
serious.
again,
yeah,
I know
it
you
has
are.
to
That's why I'm
happen.
laughing. That's why I'm laughing. So Jordan saying trade Kelsey Mitchell. A lot of people are saying CC. We need. Hey, if this Caitlin, shout out to Caitlin though. She said we need a fast guard. No, she's a shoot first guard. That is what draft night is for. Tina Pal would be really good pack up. Caitlin, Satou, Boston, Kelsey, and Lexi would be dream starters. I'm gonna repeat that. So you got Caitlin at the 1, Kelsey at the 2, but there's no way you're gonna keep Kelsey and Satou at the same time. They're both max
Yeah,
contract
no,
players.
no
They're both
way.
max contract players. But in that world, I guess that would be a dream starting. That would be a championship team.
Can
But
you
I don't
imagine
think
the small ball that's gonna happen? Like they're gonna score 100 points a game, bro.
if they get Sabally,
If they get Sabally, yeah.
oh, they're gonna. She's good for 20. Sabally's good for 20, and Caitlin's good for 20. Boston should be good for 20. So that's 60 points between their 3 starters, and then
Dude,
you
they're
got to
gonna
just
score 95, 100 points a game.
yeah, yeah. Like the fact that they lost 86 points would be crazy. We need to be realistic. Lexi is a good 6-man. I think Lexi is a good starting shooting guard. Honestly, let me ask this, Lanny. This is a question for you, Jordan. How often do you trade in your cars, Jordan?
How often do you trade in your cars?
That's a
I
question
mean,
because
when
he's
it's,
talking
I
about
mean,
trading
when,
for the
I
value.
mean,
That's a question for you.
when the value's at its highest, you know, I mean, I'm talking from like an economic standpoint, from a GMing standpoint. This is literally what GMs do for a living. Like you literally find a player whose value goes up and you trade high. That's literally the entire job of a GM. And it's a blessing that Kelsey Mitchell had a great year and now we have to trade her. That's what GMing is, you
It's
know,
true.
right? Like
And
that's literally what it is. You never
shit,
trade low, you know, like
trade
you always trade high. Like, you know, Kyrie Irving, when he got traded to Dallas, they got him for what, like 1 draft pick, maybe? It was something super low. That was I mean, they got such a low haul, like, because of, you know, his issues, but, like, you always want to trade high. Rudy Gobert, you trade high. Like, you got a one incredible haul. So, you wouldn't want to trade Rudy Gobert now because you wouldn't get 4 first-round draft picks.
So I'm reading. He said, "You're like I'm done chopping block out to the pasture." Essentially, kind of that's what he's saying. Yes, he's saying
Yeah, that's literally business.
he's
It
saying
is.
business as usual.
Dude,
That's
I love Kelsey Mitchell, but thank you for your services. It's time.
Bill. So if y'all don't know, I'm not gonna say we're from Miami, and like we've seen Bill Belichick trade Rodney Harrison. We've seen him trade
Yeah.
Junior Seau. We've seen him
Yeah.
trade every single person under the book. Deion Branch, Wes Welker. You named it, Adam Archuleta. Like we've seen him trade every single person on this.
I mean, you don't have to go to them. I mean, what about, dude? Like literally, like the Florida Marlins. Thank you for winning us the
Florida
World Series.
Marlins.
We're gonna sell
Florida
all you
fucking
guys.
Marlins.
We need to
They
make our
win the
money
World
back.
Series. That's true. They win
We
the
did it
World Series.
twice. We did it
That's true.
twice. Moises
Josh
Alou,
Beckett.
Gary Sheffield, Josh Beckett, Miguel
Yep.
Cabrera,
Dontrell Willis.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. We'll pay you, Stanton. Actually, we can't afford you, Stanton. Go to the Yankees. You know, like it's literally what this is the business of sports.
That's sports. Yeah, that's sports. Sports is we trade high and we sell low. That's true. That is so true. Josh Beckett, what a name. Crazy flashback. Yeah, I know KD. That's
Dude, he's incredible.
He was a fucking monster. We should have never traded him, but so be it.
How about a side note? I saw something that was like, name your Florida Marlins Mount Rushmore. And so many people did not put Josh Beckett on their Mount Rushmore. They just forgot. They just forgot. They just forgot.
He had that one great season. He did have that one great season.
He did.
well. He played fucking well. Look, Josh Beckett is goated.
Dude,
Josh Beckett is goated. Just like Ken Dorsey. They goated down here. They
my God.
down here and eat whatever the fuck they goated down here.
They are heroes. Actually, Josh Beckett had 2 good years because he went to the Red Sox and won them a World Series in the postseason too. So he crushed it there too.
Yes, absolutely. So, but again, you have to. I'm hearing you, Jordan. You trade when the value is high, and you can bring in So let's say this. Let's say that they do trade Kelsey Mitchell. Then they offer the max to Sabally. You have 3 core players that can obviously make first team All WNBA with Aaliyah, with Caitlin, and with Satou. And then you just start to fill out the rest of this roster. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? You bring in more shooting. You get a Tihina Pau from the draft. Like this team could honestly start to really. They're gonna be aggressive. If y'all think Christie Sides is the only one that's not coming back, y'all out your minds. Yeah. They are going to get aggressive. They're showing you they're getting aggressive this season in free agency and in the offseason. They're saying we're trying to win. We're trying to maximize our generational talent right now. They want to win now. That's what they're showing you. They want to win right now, and it's gonna be it's very ruthless. Very ruthless to say the least. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a win-win for everybody. Like, it's like the Fever win, quote unquote win, by selling high on Kelsey Mitchell's value. I mean, I put Kelsey Mitchell, in retrospect, I probably put her too high, but I put her like at 11th on my best players in the WNBA. I mean, no, like, and I think that's a mistake, but when has Kelsey Mitchell ever been able to sniff the top 15? I mean, and so like her value will never be this high. And also, she hasn't been treated super well by the Fever fan base when she struggles. So she might be interested in leaving as well. So it's like a win-win for everybody when you think about it like that.
Let me read this. So A put, and shout out to A because he stayed bringing them in some really good comments. Kelly don't care about feelings. She wants to win. That's from June Doll. Shout out to June Doll, longtime listener. A put, it'll be tougher after they're not thinking about 27, 28, but this is what his comment was. It'll be tougher after the 27-28 season once you have to pay a max contract to Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. Now, the two of them aren't on the max contract together. It'll be 1 year and then the other year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that right there gives you a little bit of time to kind of navigate what you're doing. But yes, to your point, it will be tougher to build around a team. So this is the beauty of having a rookie contract. You remember the Rams where they're saying fuck them picks? Yeah. That's the point. You want to trade now while Caitlin is a rookie and you can get as much talent as you can in the building because she's on a rookie. That goes to his point. You want to trade as much as you can to get as much talent back while she's on her rookie deal because you know she's a superstar anyway, and you can kind of fill up the roster with other players around her and kind of figure out what you're going to do. I mean, the Las Vegas Aces did that. That's how they won their 2 rings, right, with Asia Wilson, by bringing in other players like a Jackie Young, who obviously was another #1 pick, and bringing in Chelsea Gray and bringing in Kelsey Plum, right? That's 4 players that y'all say is Olympians, et cetera, et cetera. So if you can get in 3 or 4 players that are just as good, or if not comparable, you got to make that move if you're Indiana. So also, they're thinking bigger picture. What are you gonna say, Jordan?
I mean, I guess like just to back up a little bit, the Fever's outlook / perspective of, so like Zach Lowe talks about this sometimes, where like every team has like a timeline for when they think they're going to be good and when they have to start making moves. But when a player is too good, too fast, you start speeding up the timeline. So like they probably had no intention of moving Kelsey Mitchell this year. They probably had no intention of getting Satou. I mean, like more, intention than normal to get Satou Sabally. They probably had no intention of getting rid of Christie Sides this year. They probably had no intention of bringing Kelly Crosskop in. But when you have a player that's literally changing your timeline and like expediting it, you got to move faster, because there's also, frankly, no guarantee that Caitlin Clark stays on the Fever. I mean, there is no guarantee.
No guarantee. Everybody says she's not leaving Indiana. You don't know that. You don't know she's leaving Indiana.
Right. This reminds me of like, do you remember when LeBron came to the league? It's like, oh, we got to sign Mo Williams. Oh, we got to get,
No, they did him a disservice. But yes, I understand what you're going.
But like, that's the idea. It's like, we got to get the right coach in. Paul Silas, not enough. We got to bring in Mike Brown. Like, Luca is expediting their timeline. We we got to make moves for Kyrie. We gotta bring in the right
True.
coach, you know. So it's just she just sped up the timeline, and they're just acting accordingly.
It's true. And like I say this every shout out to Diana Taurasi. I can't say this enough
Diana
because the quote,
Taurasi, what a
yes,
what a curve.
the quote that Taurasi said when Caitlin walked into the WNBA, reality is coming. What a quote! What a powerful. That is like one of my favorite quotes to this day because it's like I think she meant it as if they were going to be a reality check for Caitlin, but she didn't realize it's going to be a reality check for the rest of the league.
Yeah,
Because I think of Caitlin like Thanos, like Goku, like whatever. Like when she walks in the building, y'all better sit up straight and get ready to get on your because she's gonna bust your ass.
yeah,
And reality is coming because when she walks in that building, you better understand the type of player that you got in front of you because she is going to bust your ass if you are not ready to play. And the management understands that the reality is here. We have a chance to honestly win a championship because we got the best point guard in the game. We got a budding star in Aaliyah Boston who can easily. I think she's a top 5 center in the game right now, maybe top 7, but she can easily be top 3 before the end of next season. And we got a bench. All they need is a bench to kind of solidify everything else that they have. But shout out to Diana Taurasi for that quote. And yes, and tag, I've been calling her that. CC is the leader of the new school. And yes, she is inevitable. She is inevitable. Like when she walks in that building, Slim, like you already know, like again, nobody thought I thought she was gonna break the assist record when she came in. Honestly, I thought she was gonna average 20 and 10 her rookie year. I was on record by saying before the beginning of the season, after I watched her first preseason game, I was sitting there. I talked to the girl after. I talked to the woman after. I was like, damn, this is the truth. I don't know why everybody's hating on this young woman. I said, but this is the I just witnessed it with my own eyes. This is the truth. And she put JC Sheldon on the floor, and JC Sheldon is a damn good defender. She's not a good defender. She's a damn good defender at the point guard position.
Yeah.
She put her on the floor. And then she went to the rim and she tried to get on Natasha Howard. And I was like, damn, who is this? And she's doing this at 22 against these vets and against Tierra and against Kalani. And again, I'm like, damn, she's playing. I said, this is the real deal. I went on live that next day. I said, look, she's gonna average 20 and 10. I said 20 and 9. She put up 19 and 9. Next season, she's gonna put up 25 and 10. So now the question is, if you're gonna have somebody who's never done this in WNBA history doing this, you have to put the pieces around her to win, because you don't want the same situation in Iowa where they're saying, oh, they don't have enough players around her. And like I told y'all on my live, if she don't win at least 3 rings, 2 to 3, she needs at least 3, honestly. If she doesn't win multiple rings, y'all can't give me this GOAT argument. And I think she can live up to it. I think she can honestly live up to it. So I want to see her get the job done.
I think the last thing I'll say about this is like, I just really applaud the Fever organization for making a commitment to winning and trying to improve their team. Because let's be honest, if this is, I mean, they're the most popular team, so this is the team that we're going to be watching more than any other team for the next 7 to 10 years. I'm glad that they're making a commitment to win if we're going to be stuck watching them mostly for the next 7 to 10 years, as opposed to like the San Antonio Spurs, like where all their big moves for Victor Wembanyama, they literally made a commitment to suck this year. They got Chris Paul and they got was it like Harrison Barnes or something? Like, I mean, they're making literally minimal moves to improve their roster, where at least the Fever, the next great player who's captivated our attention, they're trying to actually get better because we're gonna be watching them like more than anything. So at least they're trying to put a good product on the floor for us.
I appreciate that they're fuck us. They're trying to make sure that they win. Fuck the fan. She don't give a fuck what the fan thinks. They're trying to win. And I love the fact, Jordan, to your point, I love the fact that they're like, we need to win and we need to win now.
Yeah.
We got a rookie. We have a rookie who just made first team all WNBA. This shit is not common. This is not common stuff. Right. Like we got a rookie that made first team all WNBA. She finished 4th in MVP. Right. So think about it. We got a person on our building who finished 4th in MVP, and she can get better. Right. Put a team around this motherfucker, and let's get this thing cracking. Let's start competing with Las Vegas. Let's start competing with New York. Let's start competing with Connecticut. Let's start competing with these bigger teams. And the only way we're going to do that is, one, we need a coach first. And then, two, we need the personnel to start doing it.
Right.
Because Las Vegas, and we could talk about them now. Las Vegas, I don't know what y'all did to my girl, De'Erica Hamby, but shout out to Hamby, and I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you vindicated right now. Like Natalie Williams, I'm sorry you lost your job, but it's some bullshit that she had to go through what she had to go through
Right.
in her time in Las Vegas. It's some straight up bullshit. And the fact that they have GM saying, hey, we want to win now, and we see where the tea leaves are falling, and we want to make sure that we maximize this young woman's talent. I appreciate that. It was good, Abina. Slim, I'm gonna open up the lines in a minute. Y'all give me like 10, 15 minutes. I'm gonna open up the phone lines for y'all. I do want to hear what y'all gotta say. So y'all chime in. We do want to hear what y'all gotta say though. We're gonna put this on live. Y'all keep going, Jordan. If you have something to say. The Las Vegas, if we can speak about Las Vegas right quick, that, like I told y'all from a month ago, that team is in shambles. They don't know what they're gonna do with Kelsey Plum. Natalie Nakate is gone. Ty Harris is going to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then you got to think about, are you re-signing Chelsea Gray to a max? Because you only got 2 max contracts to offer.
Yeah.
And you already know one of them is going to Asia. Right. So that means there's one more. That means Jackie Young is the only other player that don't got a max. She's going to get a max.
Right.
Either it's in Indiana, because that'd be another point guard that'd be great for Caitlin to play with. Either it's going to be in Indiana, or it's going to be, and that's their stomping grounds. That's why I'm saying Indiana. Either it's going to be Indiana or it's going to be Las Vegas. And if it's Las Vegas, you better make the offer to Jackie Young. So now the question is, if you got 2 of your stars out of the 4 Olympians, what are you going to do? I thought, again, if y'all in the chat, I think this is the beginning of the end of the Vegas Aces. Not like they're going to go to obscurity, but just the way that we see them or the way that I saw them, it's not going to be the same. Becky Hammond already spoke about this. So, hey, what's good, Justice? Jordan, I'll let you go on that, or if you have some thoughts on that.
I mean, I just don't know what direction they're. Hey, Asia, what's going on? Dude, I love the.
Bring me some help. Bring me some help. I want to win another ring.
Well, you got to average. All right, Asia. Well, next year you got to average 35. Okay.
Who are you bringing?
Well, we can't bring anybody right now. We don't even have a GM, so you just have to do it all by yourself again.
I'm leaving. What incentive does Asia Wilson have to stay if they don't bring talent into Las Vegas? She has no ties to Las Vegas, so she has to stay. No professional athlete has ties to any single team that they say, oh, I have to stay on this team forever. There's no ties.
They're definitely not in that super top echelon anymore, which I have New York and Minnesota in. Really, they're just not at that level anymore. So what direction do they go in? They don't even have a GM to really. I mean, who? It's like what phone calls are being taken? What phone calls are being made out? Like who is the central point? There's no leadership here right now. So I don't know what they're gonna do, man. I really don't. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just kind of sad because Asia Wilson's in the prime of her career, and they're just kind of wasting it. They wasted an incredible season this year. Yeah,
wasting it away because they're not thinking about moving the goalpost. You got to bring in more people around this young woman. This young woman should be winning another MVP and another MVP. I'm talking about Asia Wilson. If she don't win the next 2 MVPs, Las Vegas failed her. It's just that simple, and it's not because of her. So the fact, shout out to Indiana. I'm gonna say it again. Indiana saying we're gonna get this shit next year. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking of winning next year. And I'm not saying firing Christie Sides was the right move, but what I am saying is we have to see who they bring in. But they're like, we're gonna maximize this amount, this window, this finite window that we have. Right. We're maximizing this Caitlin Clark talent. We're maximizing this shit right now, and we're gonna win. And they're unapologetic about it. So
yeah, it's a good mindset. I love it.
KG says he disagrees with us on our take on the Aces. So for everybody else at Abina, KG, I hear y'all about your Aces, and my adoring WNBA fans, I hear y'all about your beloved Las Vegas Aces. Boog, I hear you about your Aces too. What's the solution? Kelsey Plum is a free agent. So I don't know what you're talking about, but she could go anywhere she wants to. You could tell me she could sign there. You could also tell me she could sign somewhere else. What is the solution for y'all Las Vegas Aces? Because y'all not better than New York. It's just that simple. I don't know if y'all better than Minnesota. It's just that simple as well. Now the question is, if you're not better than them, why would you bring back the same team? Right. Y'all tell me y'all solution to fix Las Vegas, because they just lost their GM. Becky already said that they losing most of their players, and this is going to be a different core.
Right.
Now the question is, you only got my MVP pick right here, A'ja Wilson. I'm going to score 28 points per game next year, but what are we going to do? Who else is going to help me? That's my problem. Who else is helping A'ja Wilson on this team besides Jackie Young? And obviously Chelsea Gray has been balling. But what else are y'all going to do for this young woman? Because she's playing on another level. So what are y'all really going to do for her? So
can you imagine? Can you imagine in 2 years, in 2 years, you lose the GM, Candace Parker, Dearica Hamby, and Kelsey Plum?
Say that one more time. They didn't hear you. Say that louder. They didn't, because they're speaking in optimism. Say that one more time, please.
Can you imagine in 2 years if you're A'ja Wilson and you lose your GM, you lose Dearica Hamby, Candace Parker to retirement, but you also lose potentially Kelsey Plum, maybe Jackie Young. I mean,
so Abina, KP is a free agent.
That's a lot, man.
So KP is a free agent, Abina. She already said the team is good. So if the team looks different, how do you expect them to be better? How do you expect them to be better next year? That's what I'm saying. That's the argument. How do you? And I love Las Vegas. I love covering Las Vegas. I love talking with A'ja. I love talking with Jackie. I love talking with Tip. But the question is, how is this team going to get better to beat New York? New York handily beat this team this year.
And not just that, you can make the argument that next year New York is probably better because Phoebich has another year of experience. Sabrina got she got the monkey off her back. She didn't play well, but she'll probably play well next year because she's playing with the confidence that she's already a champion. I mean, right. John Quell, same thing. And they didn't get, they're still in the prime of their career too. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Because even if you're not getting better and you're staying even,
other teams are getting better.
Fever's getting better. Fever's getting everybody's just retooling or adding pieces. So I don't know, man. It's just not looking good for the Aces
at all. I mean, I'm hoping it will. I'm okay. When we say it's not looking good, we're talking about in the relative sense,
right? They're not in the highest echelon anymore. Because in my head, in the middle of this season, I had them, even though their record didn't show it. I mean, in my head, they were on the level of New York and they were on the level of Minnesota, just like they were in everybody else's mind. They were on that top echelon, but I don't think you can say that anymore.
No, I don't. I mean, again, ESPN has Las Vegas as number 3. I'm not saying that they're going to fall to 10 or 6 or whatever. But what I am saying is that championship window that looked like it was just wide open is not that anymore.
Sometimes the window shuts abruptly,
Ask the Denver Nuggets and ask the Chicago Sky about it. They won and then they had to literally get rid of their entire team.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's sports. If you don't get better, you're gonna fall back. Abina said Liz Keatley will help. If you're depending on a Liz Keatley, who obviously is gonna be a rookie, that is not.
Or even Tiffany Hayes. I mean,
and Liz Keatley is a good player, but that's not. Come on, we know that's not the answer. That's not keeping A'ja Wilson in Las Vegas.
I mean, Tiffany Hayes had a great year, but
Tiffany Hayes needs to get re-signed immediately. If they're Las Vegas, they re-sign her immediately.
Yeah, but she didn't get the minutes that the starting guards get, and when you get to go against their number 1 all the time, I mean that's different, man. It's a different workload.
It's true. It's absolutely true. We'll see. Again, for my Las Vegas Aces, y'all have a lot of optimism. I appreciate y'all. I really do. We're gonna see. We're gonna see moving forward though, because with this, it really depends on what Kelsey Plum decides to do this year. So TX put Vegas will be okay. I want to read this, Jordan. TX, I love you to death, but Mama, what she said, Vegas for sure will be a top 3 seed. I'm not agreeing with that.
For sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they were a top 3 seed, but to say for sure is a little strong for me.
I'm not gonna say for sure. I'm not. I think they finished top 4 this year, and that's with everybody.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say for sure it's top 3. I'm sorry, Mama. I can't say that. I can't say that for sure. Asia's the best player, but she'll need way more help. But that's crazy if you're telling me they got 4 Olympians on their team. Why would she need more help?
She also had probably the best coach, one of the best coaches in the league too.
Becky
So
Hammon's a great coach. She's not a
yeah,
coach. I love Becky
she's
Hammon.
incredible, but I mean, I don't know, man. I don't
Let
know.
me let me get your take. So let's be speaking of coaching. Let me read some of these. If teams can't match New York starters, there's nothing. King, I think Jordan and I are on record saying New York is going to repeat next year. Let me see. They will be if they have Plum. Probably not without her. They finish top 4 injured. So if they don't have Plum, then that's our point. The Olympians getting older too. Asia's the best because of her supporting team. No, Asia's the best. Period. And
Yeah,
she
she's
has a
just the
supporting
best.
team.
Yeah,
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 and
yeah,
she has a supporting team.
yeah. Asia's just the best, but that's not enough. That's just not enough.
We've seen it. We've seen that it's not enough.
It,
Minnesota's
it
gonna
was
get revenge in a finals rematch next year. I don't see
potentially.
Plum leaving. Why don't you see Plum leaving, Abina? And what are you gonna say, Jordan?
I mean, potentially, like Minnesota's a really good team, and they're, like, I mean, the feast is incredible. It literally was as close as it could get this year in the finals. It went 5 games in overtime. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're on the rise too. You can't say definitively that Vegas is better than Minnesota either.
No, Vegas is how can you say Vegas is better
You
than
can't.
Minnesota? Minnesota
You
was in the
can't.
play of the finals. How would
Exactly.
you be able to say that? No, they're not better than
Exactly. You can't say that. So
they're
yeah.
not. Plum could be scouted by the Valkyries. Shit, I think Plum is going to the Valkyries. I said that on record. If I'm Kelsey Plum, I've already won 2 rings. I've already got Olympic medal. Like I'm goaded already. I could just go. Now is the time to be greedy. I'm gonna score 20 points per game and really get the notoriety and the fame that I should deserve in the WNBA. What incentive does she have to play the sidekick to Asia? She could have her own
But
team.
Jambari, if she wants the notoriety, she could just play in Unrivaled.
Kelsey Plum not playing in Unrivaled. Let me see. Let me make sure. I think Plum Dog is playing in Unrivaled.
I think she is. She could
Let me
get all
see.
the money and all the notoriety and all the,
She is.
just
She's
just
playing.
this
Kelsey Plum is in Unrivaled. Kelsey Plum is in Unrivaled.
just this, perfect league that, just sprouted up out of nowhere, in the midst of a CBA deal. So yeah, she could just play in Unrivaled, Jambari.
Let me read some of these comments. Damn, she will be the Valkyrie Suzuki, and yeah, I think again, if she were to, she would be the face of the franchise. And if you're a 30-year-old Kelsey Plum, you're 30 years old, which means you have a max contract. Let's say you could play for another 7. Let's say you could play for another 7 years, right? Do you again? Now it's up to her. I don't know how KP is thinking about this, but the question is, do you want to have the chance to win rings, right, with Asia, et cetera, or do you already got the rings? You honestly want to try and just establish yourself amongst WNBA greats before you leave the game? Because she's not going to be playing for 10 more years. So the question is, do you want to really just? She could, if I'm Joe Lacob, if I am Joe Lacob and Peter Gruber, I'm telling Kelsey, look, you name the number, I'm signing it. You tell me what you want, and I'm giving it to you. But we need you to usher our franchise for Golden State into the next into the WNBA. They can't open up a franchise in the Chase Center. You can't. How can you open up the?
I
How
was
can
just
you have a
thinking, like, Joe Lacob's like, you can
center
name any
without a
number.
star attraction? You can't have it. You can't not have a star attraction. You gotta have her. You gotta
Jambari, you can
sign
name
Kelsey.
any number, Kelsey, as long as it's under 300,000.
Yeah, I mean, of course, under 300. Look, if I'm Joe, I'm paying her under the table. I'm sending her free parking pass. Shit, I'll sign her. I'll sign her family to deals. Shit, your father be a coach and whatever. I'm signing her family. Listen, you gotta if you're Golden State, you have to get her in the building. She's from California. She already has ties to the West Coast. You already know she got her coach. Natalie Nakase was her coach back in Las Vegas.
Right.
There's so many reasons why this makes sense to get Kelsey Plum and Golden State. Like, and if you're not thinking that Joe Lacob's not thinking this, you're crazy. Joe Lacob wants to start attraction in his building for the Chase Center. He wants to say, hey, we got Steph Curry and Kelsey Plum in our building. And if you, again, like there are so many reasons why that would make sense if you're Kelsey to go sign with Las Vegas. I mean, to sign with to Golden State. Now, if you're not signing with Golden State and you are going to play sidekick, because she's going to be playing sidekick to Asia, the question is, how much further can you be? How much better can you be with Kelsey, Asia, Jackie, and Chelsea? And I feel like we already know that answer. They're not going to be better than New York. I feel like we already know that answer. So I'm gonna read some of these comments. Golden State, go to the Golden State Valkyries and not win. Abina, she's already won. Why does she need to win more? Get the money and go average 20 points per game and go help this franchise make a playoffs. Plum has the talent level of an all-star sidekick, not a franchise player. Listen, if they pay her TX, if they pay her to be a franchise player, she a franchise player. It don't matter what, it don't matter. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with you, but it doesn't matter if they think that she is. I agree, but they're not winning right away. Why is Wilson not playing in Unrivaled? Because she never plays. She does her own thing in the offseason every year. She does her own thing in the off. Hey, they lucky Miami don't have a team. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Abina said, no. At the end of the day, it's about winning. But Abina, you're forgetting she's already won.
Yeah,
she has already won. She's already won 2 rings. Why does she need to stay? Why does she need to stay on a team that hasn't won? What difference? What difference would that make? Valkyries say they have a plan to win a championship within 5 years. That championship window would be a lot more open with Kelsey Plum in the back, and that's the point. They already know that. They're trying to get Kelsey into that building because that window is going to be open with her.
That's right.
Vegas can give her a chip. Can they? We don't know that they can, TX. Oh, I think Kaylin will be the same way. She is doing other things in the offseason. Jordan has a lot to say about that. About Kaylin in the offseason and Unrivaled.
Yeah, I mean, they desperately need Caitlin to join Unrivaled to make that league more legitimate, because it's really just a bargaining chip in the CBA. I mean, if they get Caitlin Clark to play in Unrivaled, that's the most important thing. I mean, what kind of league comes up with logos and everything like that, but still has 4 players that are not announced yet? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Have you ever heard of that in your life? Like, because they're literally, bro, even if they had 4 players available, and then Caitlin Clark says, actually, I want to play in Unrivaled, you best believe one of those 4 players are getting kicked out to make room for Caitlin Clark. You know,
for sure.
Absolutely. So they're holding those spots for potentially, in my opinion, FCC, Asia, who's the other one? I mean, if they just come up with like the 4 most the 4 most popular players, like that's who they'll just give those spots to. But it's really just leverage. I mean, Caitlin Clark, the league has been just so uninviting to her. And then she comes in and now they're begging her to play in Unrivaled. I mean, it's just.
Hey, but that's Thanos. They're not supposed to invite you're never gonna invite Thanos because reality is coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they knew what it was when she walked on day 1. They knew exactly what it was. They knew exactly what Jewel Lloyd led the league in scoring at 20 points per game. This is the year before Kaylin came in.
Right.
Kaylin steps in her rookie year. There have been at least five. Again, Jewel led the league in scoring at 20 points per game. Kaylin averaged 19 points per game her rookie year. The minute that she stepped foot on the court, they knew that she was going to average damn near 20 points per game like I thought she was. And they said, we're not going to let you show us up. Asia Wilson had the first one, and shout out to Asia for being the first person to score 1,000 points in a WNBA season. But she won't be the last. Kaylin is going to average 30 in a season when she's going to do it. So now the question is, who's going to will somebody beat her there first? So, like, they knew what it was. They knew what it was when she walked in the door. They knew exactly what it was when she walked in the door.
Question: Do you think Caitlin Clark is looking forward to the flagrant fouls that she'll get in Unrivaled, or is she looking forward to the flagrant fouls that she's going to get next year when she doesn't play in Unrivaled?
Better question. So is Caleb looking forward to the flagrant, not an Unrivaled or unrivaled? I have no clue. That's a great question, though.
Because they're coming. They're coming in either league.
So. They're fouling her flagrantly on purpose.
They probably were in the beginning, but they definitely will now if she doesn't play in Unrivaled.
I don't think that they. I mean, I don't. The Kennedy Carter hip check was crazy. That obviously that was on purpose. I don't know what that. I was there. I was like, "What are you doing, Kennedy?"
If she doesn't play in Unrivaled, everybody's gonna be pissed off, and she'll be getting she'll be getting picked up 94 feet or whatever the whole season.
That's all right. Look, I love the fact that she was guarded 94 feet because, like I said, from Jump Street, y'all are only making her into a monster. Like, y'all do everything that y'all want. y'all gonna make her get better. She's gonna. If you don't think she's working out in the off season, being guarded 94 feet, you're fooling yourself. You're just making her better. You're just going to make her that much better of a player because she's just gonna be like, fuck it, yo, what can y'all do with me except for foul me hard? Or I mean, like, what is that? It's just foul me hard. It's just basketball. I mean, you got to damn near injure the woman to kind of get her off the court. Like, what can y'all really do? TX, why you said it's what crazy statement did we make? I want to know what y'all say. She said, let me read some of these comments. Okay, Abina said, all right, I'm gonna read some of these comments. I got you, Abina. The difference is rookies got playing time. Shout out to YOLO, longtime listener, Jundal, longtime listener. Why aren't they pushing Asia to go to Unrivaled? It's just because I don't think she's as popular and because Asia's the queen bee. She don't have to do anything she don't want to. TX. Yeah. I don't think so. Everyone wanted to be MVP and wanted to be the best. Abina, CC gonna average 30 points per game. I don't think so. I don't think she's gonna do it next year, but I think she's gonna be the first player in WNBA history to do it for sure. I think she's gonna absolutely do it.
That's a lot of points for a 40-minute game.
I think she's gonna do it. I absolutely think she's gonna do it. And I think they're gonna change the quarters before that's over. I think by the next CBA they'll change it to 12-minute.
It's just a long game, dude. 30 points a game for 40 minutes. That's a lot, man.
Asia put up 26. Asia put up 26.
And that is a lot because she had to a lot of times.
But Pete, hear this. Asia put up 26 with 2 3-pointers made per game or 1 3-pointer made per game. Is Caitlin gonna
jump hard? That's the first time she ever did that.
Right. So like
exactly. No one's done that.
Correct. So you remember when the first person that climbed Mount Everest, how it took like 100, like maybe 60 years, and then routinely people just started climbing Mount Everest. It's the same shit. The same shit is about to happen. People are gonna adapt. Caitlin's gonna average 30. I absolutely think she's gonna average 30. Let me see this. It said it's all about a friend. Listen, I think it's gonna happen, especially in a. I think she could do it in a 40-minute course. She's done it already. She's already done it. Okay. It's just like I think with Angel Reese gonna be putting up 25 and 15. Like it's the same shit. It's gonna happen again. History is gonna repeat itself. I'm not worried about that. Let me read some of these comments. YOLO put it's all about a franchise and a coach that allows you to do that. Hey, y'all chime in. We're gonna open up the phone lines now. Y'all chime in. I want to hear what y'all think. Y'all tap in if y'all want to chime in on this conversation. That's a crazy statement. On top of that, there were other years who averaged 30 over 30. Who is gonna be their coach? It's looking like Stephanie White. She would have to shoot like 50% from 3. I don't think she's gonna shoot 50% from 3. I think she's gonna get the 40% and still do the job. It's too much. I don't think a team can be successful with a 30-point score. I didn't say they're gonna be successful. I said she's gonna be the first person to average 30 and 10 in the WNBA. No matter how you chalk it up, what Asia was doing is insane. Of course it is. Tyree, hey, a lot of them disagreeing. What's good, Clash? A lot of them saying she's not gonna average 30. Hey, CC,
that's a lot.
I hope you in the gym right now. We're hearing this shit.
That's just a lot of right now. Dude, that's just a lot of points.
Nah, bro, I'm gonna ask her about that. When I talk, I'm gonna ask her about that.
It's a lot of points for a 40-minute game. If it was a 48-minute game, yeah, she could definitely average 30 points.
Asia was 4 points away from averaging 30 points per game.
4 points. She doesn't shoot 4 points. That's a lot of points.
She does not shoot threes. That's 2 threes.
But Jordan, Asia Wilson also gets a lot of easy buckets that Caitlin Clark doesn't have access to.
That's also a fair point. That what you talking about with just the fact that she's getting layups routinely?
Yeah, because she's tall and offensively skilled. Like, yeah, layups, easy stuff.
Let me read this. Jundal, thank you, Jundal. She will just need to, he put just shoot 5 more shots. He means just make 5 more shots per game. And I think she's going to do it. That's not a lot. 5 shots a game is not a lot.
Okay. Why don't we quickly take a break? Let's go to Basketball Reference. Let's see how many shots a game Caitlin Clark was making. Field goals, not threes, just field goals.
I'm about to go pull it up right now. Hey, CC, I believe that you could be the first person in league history to do that. What do you think? I'm going to ask her on media. I'm going to ask her on media. Hey, CC,
this is Jordan. This is Dr. Jordan. You're not going to do it, CC. It's okay.
She's absolutely going to do it. I believe she's going to do it. I'm going to ask her that. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to ask her that on media day for sure.
She made 6 shots a game. Jabbar, what are you talking about?
Jordan, that's okay. So she made 6 shots a game and averaged 19.
Just make 5 more. Just make 5 more.
She can make 12 shots a game and average more? What are we talking about? What are we talking about right now?
What are you talking about? This is crazy.
No, it's not crazy. She can't make 6 more shots.
I want you to give me 5 more.
These are not good numbers. 41% from the field goal and 34% for three is decent.
All of that stuff, Jabari, really is above league average.
I'm not comparing her to league. This is Thanos. I'm not comparing her to league average anymore. I never did.
Thanos lost. What are you talking about?
No, Thanos won.
He's a loser.
Thanos won. They went back in time.
Bro.
Thanos won. Don't get that twisted. Right. Thanos won. He didn't lose.
All right.
Okay. All right. Let me.
So we're gonna snap our fingers, and one of us is gonna disappear.
Hey, listen. She said reality was coming. Listen, you never. Listen, thank you, Diana. It was like a passing of the torch when she said that quote. I appreciate that, Diana. I appreciate that. I really do, honestly. Let me read some of these chats. Oh, let me read some of these.
All right.
Hey, like I said, y'all chime in, man.
I'm back.
Come on, man. Efficiency matters. 30 points per game is not happening. Her teammates push for opportunities. CC is double guarded all the time. 20. She averaged 19. She's averaging 25 next year. If y'all don't think she averages 25 next year, you can go to sleep. She's not. What is it? But she's not, and that's fine, dude. I hear you, Abina. We disagree on that. She played 35 minutes and had the ball all the time, not efficient. Hey, YOLO, you know she was ranked number 5 in efficiency this year, so I would disagree with the not efficient line. She should never have to average 30. Tyrese, I agree. She should never have to.
That's true, too.
Tracy put Clark win an MVP next year. Hey, Tracy, she's number 2 in MVP rankings right now. Let me read some of this. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna invite some of y'all. Y'all chime in right now. I want to hear what y'all think about this. I'm gonna invite some of y'all right quick. And you see, I'm gonna open up. Yeah, we open up. Braden, CC putting up 30 points per game next year, or am I crazy? Talk to me, man.
Not next year.
Do you see her doing that in her career or not?
She'll do it in 2 to 3 years' time.
Hey, that boy be speaking the gift of prophecy. You better listen to this, man.
27-9, VJ.
20. You hear this? 27-9. That means she could put up 30. Jordan.
30 is a lot of points, Jabari. That's 11 more points.
I know she.
Clash, talk to this young man, please.
If she averaged 19.2 points a game and needs to throw in another 5 buckets a game, as unselfish as she is, I am sure she'll find time to put the rock up in the air and score.
She's not doing it next year.
I don't think next year. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in her career.
Listen, DJ's correct. I think DJ's on something for one reason, because DJ's talking. She's averaging 19.2 this year, and she did not shoot a lot. Well, she's pretty unselfish.
Well, here's the thing, I guarantee you at some point the W is going to have 12-minute games, which I'm very excited about that happening.
And she'll average 30.
Just what?
She's going to do it before that.
She'll average 30 in 12-minute quarters.
I think someone's going to do it, and I think Cart's going to do it at some point.
If you don't think she's going to make 5 threes a game, y'all can just stop right there. Y'all can stop right there. Honestly. She's going to make 5 threes a game.
Selfish. I say 23 points, same assists, same rebounds. She's unselfish.
King, I can see that. I'm with you, King, on that. I can see that. Easy, though. Here's what I was going to say. I think right now she and Kelsey Mitchell are becoming a little bit closer. And I think Kelsey's going to give that rock up to CC a little bit more instead of her catching it. And if Kelsey starts spreading that ball around, I think CC's going to start flying it. So, yeah, I really do think she can get up there 27-9. Yeah.
She made, and for the record, everybody, she made 3 3-pointers a game. She's going to make 5 to 6 next year. She's going to make 5 to 6 next year.
I think next year it's probably going to be like around 20, 21, and 9. I think she's still going to keep that. What?
I got her for 25 next year, Brayden.
25, but you know there's a sophomore slump, Jabari.
That's for most rookies. I'm not. This is a supernova. I'm not putting her in that group. Yeah. This is a supernova. This is like LeBron. Like I'm not putting her in that group.
Why is there so many CC haters in the chat today? That's crazy.
Who's in it? I mean, I don't care if y'all hate on CC. Just tell me she's not. Tell me what. How many threes is she gonna make? So hold on. I'll answer your question. So TX, she shot 3 threes a game. I'm sorry. She shot 9 threes a game, essentially, and she made 3. She shot 34%. So if she's shooting 12 and she makes 5, that's still around the same clip. And yeah, she's good for it. That's 6 more points.
Depends on who her sidekick is, too.
Her sidekick's Aaliyah Boston.
I'll tell you one thing, guys.
Smell back. Who's on the guard?
Hey, guys, think about this. She started her season off where she had to climb to get the 19.2. She won't be paying the same dues next year. Next year, she's going to be prepared for the physicality. She'll be prepared, not trapping herself on the sidelines and the coffin corners. She's a completely different game player the second half of the season compared to the first half when she was not ready for, you know what, I hate to admit it, but I'm going to say there was a reality. The problem is Diana was a punk when she got out there. There was a reality. It was a wake-up call. Because the W is physical.
Diana was doing great her rookie year, too, though.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to say, Caitlin walked into a battleground that she was not prepared for. But you know what? Instead of being hated upon and making a big joke of there's going to be reality coming and check, you ain't going to, these ain't 18-year-old girls. She should have shut her mouth when she should have. And really, Diana didn't have to come up on it. But Caitlin is ready for it now. She was asked the question, though, Clash. She was asked the question, like, how Caitlin would do at the start of the league.
Yeah.
I know that, Braden. Listen, you're absolutely right. She was asked the question, but she came off
and
like...
she was technically right.
Let me answer your question, though. She was asked the question. You're absolutely right. But she came off like, we ain't 18-year-old girls that you're playing with anymore. When you come here, reality is going to check you up. And then all of a sudden, you know, SVP came off, and he had to come off like... you know, laughing with her, and they made a big joke of, you're going to get your ass kicked. And you know what? She did run into a battle, but one thing, second half of the season, she adjusted pretty quick to get up to 19.2.
So just very quickly,
Braden, hold on 1 second, Braden. Go, Jordan.
She had four 30-point. She had 4 30-point games this year, and she had 2 29-point games. Go ahead, Braden.
Taurasi? Go ahead, Braden.
No, CC.
You know, if you know Diana Taurasi is like that with anyone. She's been trash talking since she was at UConn. Like, if it was like the same question about Paige Beckers, she would say this exact same answer.
No, she wouldn't say that. I don't think so. No, she wouldn't. No, she would not. No, she would not. She's going to say Paige will do fine. Paige is going to be this. Paige is going to be that. She wouldn't say anything like that.
Hey, DJ, one thing, I don't think DJ... Hey, DJ,
she's a UConn homer. That's why.
Yeah, man. DJ, I don't think this is out of line. DJ, I don't think this is out of line. But just so you know, I really believe that Diana and her buddy were cocktailing that game too. I'll phrase it just like that. So in those little red Solo Cup, you know, they had their little action running. I think they were cocktailing. So she started being cute. The worst part about it is that she never knew it backfired because nobody's mentioned Diana's name in the last month. In the league, she is now history.
Damn, that's kind of insulting. Hey, Jabari, did you hear about all the hate Shaq's getting?
We could talk about it. What do y'all think about Shaq's? I mean, obviously, okay, let me just be clear. Obviously, women should not play in booty shorts to get attention. I'm not agreeing with Shaq on that. I'm not agreeing on that. If y'all want to talk, let me just finish. I'm not also talking about lowering the rims. That I disagree with that on that as well. The only aspect of what I agree with Shaq is what he said is if they dunk more, the sport will be popular. That's the only thing that I agree with Shaq with. Everything else is that's on Shaq. I am not agreeing with anything else Shaq said except for the dunk.
Of course they would. They're trying to turn him into Diddy, bro.
No, he's not Diddy.
You know, I'll tell you how they are. No,
why do you disagree with the dunking?
What's happening?
No. I'm talking about with all the pervy shit.
Forget all that. Brandon, forget all that. What are you talking about with the Diddy stuff?
You don't care about all that.
I mean, I'm sorry. What are you talking about with the dunking part? That was my fault.
So you don't want to talk about the other stuff?
So you don't think if they dunk more, the sport will be more popular?
We talked about this last time.
Let me tell you why it doesn't work the same as the WNBA.
Oh my God, we talked about this
last
time.
The NBA. You don't like the dunking just because it's dunking. You like the dunking because they're athletic and the type of dunk that they do. So if you have Asia dunking like a Jokic dunks, it won't be any difference.
I disagree.
The reason why we love to dunk is because we have Anthony Edwards and LeBron James doing windmills and 360s. You won't see 360s in the WNBA. It's gonna be the same. They won't be posterizing people like the same way that they do in the NBA.
So the like John Starks dunking on Jordan and Pippen.
What?
John Starks on Pippen.
You know, you will not see that. You will not see that in the WNBA.
Not now. Maybe in a few years, yes.
We're just gonna have a bunch of spud webs.
You're just saying they ain't gonna come in windmill.
Yeah. It's not gonna make a big difference. Are there people that are gonna like this?
Oh no.
Maybe, but it won't be amazing.
Oh no.
No 9-foot rim. DJ.
Oh, it's a shade, dude.
I disagree. Keep the rims at 10 feet. Women are already dunking at 10 feet. That doesn't make no sense to lower the rims now.
It might help with the layups, but that's another conversation. That's not the dunking conversation.
Were you on the panel the last time we had this conversation, officer?
No, that's why I wanted to hear his thoughts. Oh, hold on. Before we continue, everybody, let me Slim. I'm gonna get you.
Do you disagree with that though?
Hold on. Let me get this, Jordan. If you had to start a team, because I want to get you on record for this. If you had to start a team, are you picking DiJonai Carrington or Chennedy Carter?
Oh man, I'd probably start with Chennedy Carter.
He said Carter. I got Carrington. I got Carrington. Slim, I want to know what you think.
I'd probably start with Chennedy Carter.
I picked Carrington.
Okay,
me and Katie agree.
I'm picking Carrington. I'm picking Carter.
Yeah, a lot of us are picking Carrington. A lot of us are picking
Carter. I don't think it's straight to say Carter though.
All right, Slim, if you want to go on your point, you can now. I'm picking Carrington. I'm picking Carrington, y'all.
Me too. I actually was requested up when you were talking about Boston being CeCe's running mate earlier before you're letting people up. And I would say that's amazing. She has such potential. Hold on a second. Shut up, dogs. Just so much potential, but you saw what she did there. I've said this like probably a dozen times. She showed up at the beginning of this season like she'd eaten the entire Stay Puft Marshmallow Man herself. If she stays in the gym in the off season and they add, I will tell you, I think, and I know that you probably moved past this, but I think because you're talking about the Fever earlier when I first started tuning in.
You're good.
I think the Fever are going to compete for the championship next year if they do nothing more than improve their defense by 15%.
One thing they need a big forward that's going to rebound. They need somebody like Zena. They need Janelle. They get one rebounder that's going to crash the boards and act like people should be in the paint instead of hanging outside the three looking to launch them. They need one big person. If they get a big person, they could compete for a championship. They need one big though, somebody intimidating like Cardoso, like the Charles, like John O. Any one of those three. And I'll tell you something, Fever will be somebody you contend with for sure.
New York and the Wings and Asia are going to have to be in the same bracket for their behalf.
Jabari, I want to ask you a question because I feel like y'all have been a little hypocritical.
Let me hear what KG had to say. I want to hear what y'all got to say too, though.
The question I had, because I feel like y'all have been a little hypocritical on the thing earlier, on the topic earlier.
It's about the Aces, right? Huh? Is it Aces question? Yeah. I know. The Aces fans never like what I got. I know.
No, it ain't even about me being an Aces fan. This is just me observing stuff as a basketball fan, right? So, Caitlin Clark and we comparing the Aces and the Fever real quick. So, Caitlin Clark and Asia, regardless of where you want to rank them, are top 4 players in the league, right?
Okay.
Then the next best 3 players on both rosters, you have Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and in my opinion, regardless of the fact that she doesn't fit and that she didn't play well, their next best skill person on the team is Nalissa Smith. So for the for the Fever, I have Kelsey, Jackie, and Chelsea, right?
Well, you can't keep counting Kelsey. She's not free agent.
I know. I'm saying I'm getting there. So you have a top 4 player for both teams. Then their next best player, however you want to put them in order, 2 or 3, is Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and Jackie and Kelsey Plum, right? So both teams have 2 players up for free agency, Kelsey Mitchell, Kelsey Plum. So how are you going to tell me that the Fever can be better if they have the possibility of losing their second or third best player in Mitchell? The Aces also have that same dilemma and possibly losing their second or third best player.
Now, I was on record saying I didn't say that the Fever were going to be better. ESPN said the Fever were going to be better.
But I'm getting it though. The way y'all was talking, and when we discussed
that's a red flag.
I was saying basically, if the Fever made a few moves and if they had a few new pieces and the team looked differently with Kelsey Mitchell being moved and possibly Nalissa being moved, that they could still possibly look better. But then in the same breath, you could tell me that the Aces are in a turmoil right now.
I can answer. You want me to answer that question? I can answer that question right now.
I can answer.
I want to take it.
Go, Slim. Katie, Slim, y'all can answer that. I'll answer it last.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, Katie and then Slim, and then we can go ahead.
Think about what you're saying. You just came up winning a championship.
Thank you.
And you were saying and you're comparing yourself to a team that's up and coming.
Thank you.
Those are two different things. And those are two different aspects of your team building. You cannot compare the Aces coming over a championship to a team that you think might be better because they are getting better. They're trending up. You're trending down if you're comparing yourself to the Fever.
Right.
Those are two different things. So that's why we're having the conversations the way that we have the conversations, because we're looking at it from different perspectives.
Even if they're trending down, though.
Hold on. Let's let me answer the question and then go.
And my answer is different. Asia is the best player on the team, but it was proven this year she's not the most important one.
I don't know about that. What do you mean?
No, they call her the point guard for a reason, and she was not good.
She's also injured.
I know. I understand that she's injured, but she's not. The most important player on that team is their point guard, and they didn't play well the season, including.
I know what you're trying to say, but not no.
Asia is most important player. Second would be Jackie Young.
I won't agree or disagree with you, right? But in you all's point or in Officer's point about you saying they're trending down, me personally, I don't think they trended down in terms of like how good they are. They just had a year where players were injured or whatever. And if you watch
questions though, you agree that there's a lot of questions they have.
But
that's trending down in a way.
Them being injured this year doesn't mean they're gonna be injured next year. So
the team you're going against is getting better. New York is our words go be the same.
My point in saying that though, Officer, I understand that. I'm saying my personal opinion. If they were healthy, I don't think I'm not saying they would have won.
How are they not healthy? How are they not healthy? Stay there. How are they not healthy?
Because they won. They've been fighting injuries all
year. How are they not healthy? How are they not? When they went into the playoffs, they were healthy.
So they haven't had players in and out of the lineup all year due to injury.
No, when they went into the playoffs, they were a healthy team.
You just said the point guard is not a max player because she's not getting healthier and she's getting older.
I know that's why I said, Officer, listen. That's why I said. That's why I gave y'all the point. So for Jabari's question, how are they not healthy? They've been battling injuries in and out of the lineups all year.
She's not going to get healthier. That's what I'm saying. She's not going to get healthier.
Abina, how is Jackie Young got hurt in the playoffs? She was healthy going into the playoffs. Yeah, they were all healthy.
Yeah, they're making excuses now. This is crazy.
I'm not making excuses at all.
You telling me if they're full? Okay, let's do it like this. If you think if they're at full, let's say they bring back Kelsey Plum. And they bring back everybody on this roster. You think that they're going to beat New York?
Say again?
If they bring back everybody on this roster and they're as healthy as you think they are they beating New York?
That was my point to you.
No, I'm asking. Do you think that they're beating New York, KG?
I don't know. I won't say definitively yes, but I don't
see
them.
That's my point. Then that's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, they turn it down then.
Can I finish before y'all interrupt me? I'm not saying they are definitively beat New York, but I'm saying I don't think they lose to New York in the fashion that they do. In other words, it's a coin flip. So you telling me the way y'all are talking, y'all are saying New York is definitively better than them.
They are definitively better.
If the Aces are healthy, the way you just put it in scenario, I don't think that they are definitively better. I think it's a coin flip.
Your point guard getting healthier then.
I got you, KG. I'll tell you one thing: the rest of the teams are all going to be increasing.
Are they going to get better? Fever's going to get better.
Aces got a little rocked up this year. Maybe they don't have 5 Olympians. They might be knocked down to 3 or 4 Olympians. That's a little sarcastic, by the way.
I got you, KG.
I'm not playing. I don't think
I think everybody else in the league is going to step up.
They beat the Suns, Fever, and they'll give the Lynx a shot, but they won't beat New York.
So and that's fine, but I'm saying again, in my opinion, I think it's a coin flip. But to Clash's point about them and the Olympians, that's why I said that regardless of y'all thinking they trending down, again, the other minus the few people being injured or whatever, if they bring back a healthy roster and decide to move,
if they're not getting better,
they decide to move. If they bring back a healthy roster, everybody else is healthy. They decide to move Chelsea Gray, which would be the equivalent, in my opinion, to moving Nalissa, because both of them, in my opinion, are the 4th best players on the team, and they don't re-sign Kelsey Plum. And the same breath y'all were talking about the Fever not re-signing Kelsey Mitchell. How does the Fever be the 3rd best team, but the Aces?
I'll tell you how. They have a generational player that's supposed to be better.
Where they were.
Kaylin is getting better.
That's where I was going.
And Aces not.
AJ might get better, but she has hit This is, in my opinion, this is how as great as she's going to be. She's already
officer.
tapped out. She's maxed out. You don't know what Kim is going to be.
Let me tell you, I'm with you, officer, on this. Hey, hold on, KG.
She's an amazing all-time player. What else she's going to do? She's going to have 35?
Yep. I got to tell you something. Asia ain't coming back better than she was this year. She was at her max. I agree with you, officer.
Yeah,
she's gonna be great, but she ain't gonna turn the tables any bigger than she
had
did
the
this
best
year.
season
And they didn't
in
win
the
this
history
year.
of the WNBA, according to some people.
Let's say that both of y'all are right in that observation. Is there not?
What I was gonna
Is
say,
there
though,
not
Again,
still
how
a
can you
between
say
Ace
she's
and
not
everybody
maxed
else?
out when she already? Okay, so what else is she gonna
Maxed
get
out
better?
is a rough word.
Shoot,
but she ain't gonna
3-point
do anything
shooting.
more than she did this year.
3-point
She had a
shooting.
year this year, and what we saw Cardosa throw 5 shots back in her face. I'll tell you, other players come out, they're gonna start challenging Asia. And I think you'll see better defense on Asia.
Asia's gonna get better, y'all. I don't know what you're talking about on that. Asia's not the problem. It's not this one. It's not this one. She ain't the problem. Asia's not the problem. Asia's not the problem on that team.
Not a problem, DJ. Asia's
That's
awesome
not what we're
player.
talking about.
She's
We're talking
awesome.
about
I just
why
want
the
to see
Fever
her.
will get better. Why the Fever will get way better.
By the way, officer, both. Fever's going to get better, and Asia's still going to play great, but the Fever's going to get better.
And Kayla's going to get way better.
So, Brayden, I'm going to let you speak that topic. I'm going to let you speak that topic. When they finish, we can get back to your topic.
The point of the comparison is not to say that the Fever won't get better, but the point of the comparison is that both teams, in terms of their top 4 people, have identical problems where they have a top 4 player, they have their second or third best player possibly moving on, and then they have their 4th best player probably going to be traded. So I'm saying, how do they have the same problems identically for the top 4 players, but you're telling me one team is going to come
they don't have the same problems. One of them is a 2-time champ, and one of them is trying to make it to the second round of the playoffs. They don't have the same problems at all.
How do they not?
Because one of them is a 2-time champ. One of them is trying to make it to the second round. So speaking of, I'm gonna bring back my TikTok, Jordan. We can keep talking. We're gonna rift. My phone died, so we're gonna keep rifting, and I'm gonna bring it up. They're still on live talking to each other. But just in some of these comments, there's no reason why I feel like Indiana can't be. I'm not saying that they're going to be better than Las Vegas, but there's no reason why Las Vegas should be comparing themselves to an upstart team like an Indiana.
Right. One team is a made man, and one is younger, hungrier. One is younger and gonna get better. One team is old, not. I don't want to say they're old, but they've already peaked out, and if anything, they're gonna go down going forward. It's pretty simple. I mean. It's pretty straightforward why the situations are not the same. Just to remind everybody, the Aces lost in the semifinals 3-1 to the Liberty, and it wasn't particularly close either. Some of those games, so yeah, like there's no way that they're competing for a championship unless there's some some angle that we don't see, some personnel change that we don't see. But yeah, also.
No, I'd like to see her be a team player, just like Steph Curry and everybody else. Shoot the rock, burn it all you want, but move the rock sometimes.
Is that a different conversation?
When Caitlin Clark's on the bench, though, it's usually Kelsey Mitchell time to take over. Would you want her to take over in that time at least? Because when Caitlin Clark's on the bench, she still drops like 15 in a quarter.
I don't want to see that. What this is one of the bad things that happened to Christie. And I'll tell you one thing that happened to Christie in the first half of the season. Check this out. Mitchell or Caitlin would throw in anywhere from 11 to 14 points in a quarter. And then Christie would pull her out the last 2 minutes for some ungodly reason, break the momentum, and we'd be winning again. One of the things that happened in the beginning of the season that I don't think
will be closing thoughts.
Second half, that we did not see the second half of the season.
Much.
Yeah.
I mean, she does need a break, though. So, like, when do you want her to have a break?
Got to figure it out, man. No,
you don't want her to ever have a break.
No,
she does not need to be playing 40 minutes. Come on.
40 minutes. Listen, man. Most athletes are running for 40. Look,
it's like watching
one at a time. One at a time.
How old is that 40-year-old James doing in the NBA? How's that 40-year-old man running up the court? You think he played the whole game the other day?
That's LeBron. We're not gonna put anyone through.
He's also a man.
No, but officer, what I was referring to is that man is in condition. He sleeps, he drinks, he eats, he takes care of himself, and he's ready to run a game. And he's 40 years old taking a beating. and he still
He
comes
spends
out
like
ticking.
millions on his body, though.
I know.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark has 70,000 to spend on her body.
Right now.
She has a little more, I think. She has a little more.
Million, you mean? I don't know about 70,000. That's 70,000.
He's being funny. He's being funny. He's being funny. He's being funny.
That's his. Well, I mean, that's her salary, I think, right? It's like
Salary
76,
in the NBA.
it's like 76,000. Yeah.
I'm sorry, if you have to spend all 40 minutes like playing for your team, then your team is in a lot of trouble. Caitlin Clark,
I
it's
don't
like
think so,
everyone else
Braden. I don't
deserves a
think
break.
people. I don't think they.
I'll be a bad side, though, low-key.
Nobody's looking for her to run 40 minutes a game. When she ran this year, she and Mitchell were running. Take a look at their times. I think if she ran the same amount of time next year, things will be sweet.
Wasn't she averaging 35 minutes?
Okay, so there you
Let's
have
pull
it.
it up. I'm gonna pull it up right
Like
now.
a
I'm gonna
top
pull it up
10
right
pick
now.
in the draft. They can get another backup point guard for her.
They need a boy ball handler.
And you can use Grace Berger.
She was
And-
averaging
and
35.
Grace
In the
is
postseason,
not-
she averaged
despite
38
without
minutes a
Grace
game.
is not bad.
No.
I
I've been saying Grace Berger's minutes.
Like Amari, let's just move this straight to TikTok.
Would you?
It's still on Riverside.
40-minute.
Everybody on Riverside, we're gonna end it from there. Y'all hear the talks, conversations. We're gonna go from there. Rindy, I appreciate y'all. Everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube. And closing thoughts. You fire away.
I mean, yeah, the Aces are. It's not looking very good. I don't think. I mean, I don't know how you could think that they're a legitimate contender for a championship next year. I mean, like right now in this moment, it doesn't look like it. The Fever. I mean, they're a serious bunch right now. So hopefully they find the best coach for them, whether that's Stephanie White or someone else. But yeah, man, it's I mean, how many vacancies are there right now, and how many unfilled vacancies are there? I think 5, 6, something like that.
There's half of the league on fire today. Yeah.
Jeez, that's yeah. So, I mean, it's just musical chairs right now, or I mean, Stephanie White. Stephanie White is not even guaranteed yet. She's probably talking to like 3 or 4 different teams and just literally ratcheting up the price. It's probably a little bidding war right now for her because she's probably the best coach available in the market, right? Probably.
Yes.
So it's good for Stephanie White. She's gonna get a good deal. Of all the vacancies, she's gonna have some good players wherever she goes because there's a good player on every single team at this point. So yeah, man, it's just gonna be an interesting offseason.
Hey, Las Vegas Aces. I hate how y'all did my girl De'Erica. That's all I gotta say. Shout out to them Aces. Shout out to them Aces. With that being said, we're gonna go on TikTok. Riverside, we're gonna be on TikTok. Y'all let us know how y'all feel. Rindy, I appreciate you. Long time listener. Everybody else on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, appreciate y'all. We're going on TikTok. Appreciate y'all.
See ya.
Deuces.